What's up, guys? Welcome to Rice and Beans. This is a current affair, and we are streaming live on our Facebook, and I think it streams to our YouTube too. I'm pretty sure we got. I'm pretty sure I set up all the crap for us in order to do that, but who knows? I mean, it's been a long week. I may not have. I may have pulled a like Hammy? I said no. I heard that this week, and by that I mean shit the bed in some of this setup. But hey, we do what we can.
You say current event, I always think Maury Povich, and I hear the.
We got to find a way to make that happen. I'm sure we can get that going. Like if we really, really sit down and think about it.
Johnny Dep is the father
of a 10-pound turd.
No, actually, we don't value those by pounds. They go by Couric. So that would be more like a 3.5 Couric.
Isn't that what Bono weighed in at?
No, Bono wanted his biddy, and he was more like a 4 Couric, I think. But you have to watch South Park and, send us an email and let us know if we're wrong or right.
There we go. So that craziness with speaking of shitting the bed, that craziness with the Amber Heard trial and Johnny Dep. So it's gone into deliberation now, right? Is that where they're at? They're trying to.
Yeah, as far as I know, they've closed out the case, and now the jury's in deliberation to figure out who's going to get what, who's going to get shat on, so to speak.
I just picture a jury room with a bunch of toilets, and all of them are just sitting on there thinking, like.
Well, Bob, what do you think? Oh, that was a bit runny.
You hear one hit the water hard. Oh, let's see her beat that.
Wait a minute. Was that Neptune's kiss I heard?
Sounded like Neptune gave her a French kiss.
We don't know how much corn you've been eating. So, yeah, they're going into deliberation, and because we're going into Memorial Day, we can't laugh too much tomorrow because a lot of people died for this shit, so to speak. And in any case, there's been a lot of funny memes and a lot of funny pics. I've been sharing quite a few on our Rice and Beans Facebook, but the one I've seen that I've just every time I pass by, it just gets funnier every time, is when Jason Momoa is talking about in the Heard trial. And some guys just put his voice in there just saying stupid shit. It's funny as hell. You gotta watch it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look for Momoa and Amber Heard funny memes, and you'll have a good laugh at that. Hilarious.
Did they do them like like those bad lip reading videos that they do for the NFL seasons? Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So basically, they go into the live feed, Zoom or whatever they're using, and they talk to him and goes, "Now, Mr. Momoa, you're an actor, correct?" He goes, "No, I mow lawns for a living." And then they show the lawyer go to Johnny Depp going, "I think he's really an actor." And you see Depp laughing. So, they just do all these bad, voiceovers, and it's just hilarious. And every time you hear Momoa laugh, you just crack up laughing. Whoever's doing the voice is doing a great job.
All right. I'm definitely going to check that out. That sounds like a good one. So, I don't know. What's your take on this whole, like, the whole situation in the trial? Like, what's at stake, and how much money is actually at stake?
Really? So Johnny Depp is suing for defamation, and he was suing for $55 million because he was losing his cast in the Pirates of the Caribbean, which really in this day and age is not unheard of. So $55 million, I think, is kind of shy of what he should be doing. He should be, in the marks of where she was trying to sue him over $100 million, because he's losing a lot of money in this venture. Not only is it Pirates of the Caribbean, but let's keep in mind, a lot of the movies that he's been in that he can do that's probably going to be, affected by this, he's losing a lot of income, and she wants his money for, divorce, and it's just fucking nuts. $55 million on his part, and she wanted to show how serious she was on her end, so she wanted to sue him $100 million. Well, if you're losing that much money, then I'm more important than you. I deserve $100 million for this defamation suit, which doesn't make sense because the suit was that she was defaming him and not the other way around.
A defecation suit?
Yeah. defecation defense, I guess.
Defecation on character.
Yeah. So it's just been shitty all the way through. You know what I'm saying? A bit nutty, and some of the people that have been talking, on the stands, it's kind of like what the OJ trial was like. He was on trial for murder, and yet they're having points of laughter in the law. In the courtroom, and it's just like it makes no sense. So I haven't been following regularly, but I've been following on the point notes, and it just doesn't make any sense why this is going through. He seemed more beat than she was, and she's snorting what appears to be cocaine on stand. It's just some off the wall, courtroom Hollywood bullshit.
That was some straight up like fucking that movie from the fucking from the 90s where fucking what's her name, Buffy, the Sarah Michelle Gellar has the fucking coke in the fucking cross. Cruel Intentions.
Yeah,
where she had like she just like doing bumps of the fucking in the out of that cross. That's what that shit reminded me of when she's like fucking. I'm like, wait, did she just? And then I looked at it before I saw the memes. And I was like, because I just saw like her going like that, and it was like a video, and I didn't have any audio on, so I'm like looking at it, and I'm like, and then I pulled it back, and I like played it again, and then like the audio came up, so they were saying, yeah, it looks like she's taking a bump, but like without any audio and just watching, like the video, I'm like, wait, is she fucking getting high in court? What the fuck?
Well, so you put a little boogie into hanky, and when you do that, you put the hanky into your nose and you push down on either side and you blow really hard. So you could see your lungs and the capacity of your chest, push, not expand, but contract. It seemed the other way around when she put her hanky up. It seemed like she was inflating herself. Big breath. Very good.
She just fucking laced up her fucking handkerchiefs with fucking with coke.
Yeah, it could have been fentanyl for all we know. Yeah, it was just, seeing these hijinks and seeing what they're talking about, it's just like, it's the whole silver screen is just, the air is gone. When people looked at these actors and actresses with, honor and, like, awe, escape, it's just out the door when you see
When I think of Amber Heard and the silver screen, I envision it now with a sepia like effect tone on it now.
Wait a minute, did she just shit on the bed in sepia? This just in, say Amber Heard took a shit on the bed.
Could you imagine if that happened in the 20s? How fucking hilarious the news commentary would have been, because the stuff that they could say back then versus the stuff they can say now.
Could you imagine the freaking the teleprompt live wire? Stop, shit in the bed, stop. Fuck, man. A lot of stops here, but she didn't really stop, did she?
No, it was all go. Like when you gotta go, you gotta go.
Yeah. And Johnny Dep was looking to, prevent that from happening. He put those pigeon spikes in the bed to try to prevent her to poop in there. Didn't work.
Well, I guess we'll see what happens. There was a lot of crazy shit that came up that both sides, allegedly did, and who knows if they did or they didn't. I get, there was witnesses for some of the stuff, but like a lot of it seemed like he said, she said, and it seemed like they were both just up there to talk shit. So,
man, you know what? We live in a day and age where everything's just coming out. Just walk away from each other. If you don't like each other, if it just doesn't work, call it quits, separate on good grounds. Don't try to take the other person's money or livelihood. Just leave. What's better than that? Is it really worth trying to steal somebody's money to make them shit the bed, so to speak, and the rest of their lives? No. Just part ways, be good people, be good to each other, and just walk away. If you can do that, then you know what? You'll live a lot longer.
Jerry. I'm sorry, that's at the end of it. It reminded me of the end of Springer, where he's like, be good to yourselves and each other.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was going for. For fuck's sakes, man. if Heard had just walked away, if Johnny had just walked away, if they just would have just parted ways, she wasn't after all his money, she wasn't out to screw him over, and vice versa. Then think of all the millions they would have made in Aquaman 2 and Pirates of the Caribbean 6 or whatever the case may be. Now they're both screwed. It's not like they need the money, but I mean, for God's sakes, they're not going to make any more money, to not pay, those sick children like you said you were going to, and get somebody else to do it like Elon Musk. But hey, that's bygones. What can I say about that?
They don't need the money to remind me of the replacements. Do you know what the insurance on a Ferrari costs, motherfucker?
It's just gotten to a point where there's just too much, public opinion, too much, cameras and too many microphones everywhere. If what we say can be used against us in the court of law, it can be happening to anybody, Joe Schmo on the street. So just mind your P's and Q's and understand you may have an opinion, but keep it to yourself sometimes.
But not everybody necessarily wants to hear that shit, so
yeah,
keep it cute or keep it on mute.
And that brings back the next subject, what do the five fingers say to the face?
Slap!
I'm Rick James, bitch! Which is what we were just basically talking about. Keep your fucking opinion to yourself and just move on. They're just words. Yeah, they might hurt you. Hey, I say some shit that might hurt somebody, or I hear something that may hurt me, but you know what? I put some dirt on it and I'll walk it off and get on with my day.
Yeah, but there's a difference between you and people that are begging for, to be included in everything. And so the dude that fucking attacked Chappelle comes out now, releases a statement during an interview saying that he was triggered by the joke in a previous interview, and then
whoa, did you say triggered? I want to be clear.
Yeah, we're not supposed to use that other word anymore.
Oh, okay, sorry, I thought I misheard you. Okay, go ahead.
So he said he was triggered by the joke, and because he's bi or some kind of shit, whatever, I don't care. Right. Either way, he got butt hurt by the joke. I was gonna make a gay joke, but fuck it. So he releases another statement saying that the Will Smith incident was what basically inspired him to go up and try to tackle Chappelle on stage. And so I think while he was locked up, he was listening to the show, because I think we said that same exact shit the 2 days after it happened.
Look, man, if you are so triggered, so involved with oneself that you cannot just overlook that it was a joke, that you just took it wrong, you know what? Just go into a dark cave and just live out the rest of your life, because you're going to hear things in your lifetime that are just going to throw you off the deep end like crazy. And if you respond to every single one of those, you're not going to have a very long life, because one of these days you're going to step up to somebody that has a gun and they're going to protect themselves, and you're going to be the receiving end of that gun. It's not worth it, is it?
And it's what if there's a lot of people that have training, fight training or martial arts training, that never fucking tell anybody. What if fucking Chappelle was one of those guys? That guy would have got fucked up. Even Dave would have fucked him up. And not to mention all those people that fucking beat his ass backstage. Did you see how long that shit went on? It was just
quite a bit.
One fucking 3-minute long ass whooping. And I was there was a bunch of motherfuckers standing around too.
So I'll play devil's advocate on 2 points. One being that if let's say you're boxing, judo, karate, you're really good at whatever you do. You don't know what the other guy's got. He may have a taser. He might have a gun. If he has a taser and you have a weak heart, you're dead. Just one shot, you're dead. You don't know who you're arguing with in the stand. It might be a big guy named Bubba. He comes up and wants to slap you, like what happened to Pauly Shore. You just don't know these things. But also, if you're that big and if you know what you don't know if the other person has security that has guns. You don't know if there are cops going to take you down in the nightclub. You don't know none of that stuff. So is it really worth the argument? Is it really worth to get your point across? I mean, you paid good money to go see this show and you're offended. Why are you there?
Exactly. Know what you're fucking getting yourself into. Put some fucking thought into it. Don't just jump into the shit. I'm there's certain things where you can do that and it's cool and it works out. But I mean, realistically, come on. Like, think about some shit before you go out and do some dumb shit. Like, it's it's now come to the point where we're living in a world where you kind of have to, and if you don't,
Yeah.
then like canceled if you believe in that kind of thing.
Well, I
Um,
mean, comedians go up on stage to push your buttons. That's what they're there for. You know, if you let your buttons get pushed and you just go off the deep end, well, hey, that's really on you because you're insecure about yourself, right?
yeah, like fucking what's his like Kramer when he responded, like got put on tilt by that heckler, and and we
Yeah,
saw how that shit ended. But even even him, it's like you're there to push people's buttons, and some people are gonna snap back. Like, why are you not expecting that? Why are you not prepared for that? It sounds like you're not doing your job.
exactly. You know, he dropped the M bomb, but is it worth? Is it that word worth destroying his whole livelihood and his whole career over? Not really. Did he use it in a malice way? Probably. Did he mean it towards the whole, nation, of black people? No. Did he mean it towards that one person? Most definitely. So get off of it. I mean, he said the word. Move on.
Has he
Was
done
it?
it a million times before? Yes. Have we heard him? No. It
No.
was just
Has
that
anyone else
one
done it?
fucking
Yes.
time. Yeah, like Paula Dean. How many times do you think like she said it on average? Like,
Oh
you know
my
what I
God,
mean?
a million at
It's
least.
just the first time that somebody fucking heard her say it. Like that was the downfall. But
No,
yeah,
but hey, Paula Dean had that one show in the back alley, of Detroit where she would say, "We're going to cut this N word up," talking about her, slicing up some meat.
she's like 1,000 and from the South. Like, do you think she honestly doesn't say that fucking word? Come on.
A lot of people hung around for it.
It was, I don't know. Like, just, yeah, exactly. Know what you like, yeah, like, there you go. Another case of know what the fuck you're getting yourself into. A super old white lady from the South. Do you think she's not going to be racist? How the fuck does that work?
You know what? Everybody's got a tinge of racism in them, whether they understand or not. We talked about this in one other show, where as a kid, as growing up, I would say these racist things, but I wouldn't see them as racist because this is what I heard around at the time in the late 70s, early 80s from other people. And I assimilated into it. It's not until I got to be a teenager and understood words a lot more that I understood what I was saying was wrong. That being said, I never use them again, but except in funny jokes or context, and I try to limit that as much as I understand what people can take.
It, it's, I can't even say target audience because that's not, if somebody's there, like obviously that's considered target audience. Why would you be there if you weren't into that kind of thing? You know what I mean? It's just like, like, I don't know, going to a fucking like BDSM dungeon and you're not into pain. Like, why the fuck would you be there? Like, putting yourself like, I saw okay, here's one thing that I saw. I was judging at a tournament and I saw a bunch of kids in the fighting division, and like they got hit a couple times and they didn't want to, like, you could tell they didn't want to be there. And it's like, why would you that you're going to get hit, you don't like being hit, like, why did you sign up for this division? Like, why do
Yeah.
that to yourself? And I think that's what that whole thing, whether like Will Smith, his thing contributed to, I don't think it did. I think the guy's just full of shit, and he's like grasping at straws and trying to throw whatever at the wall and see, hopefully something sticks, you know what I mean, to try to like get the attention off the fact that he tried to attack Dave Chappelle.
Well, it was an anger moment, just going off on it. And I'm going to make this tangent to make a link to what's going on here. You've seen superior comedians go through, and people that had a brain that actually used them right. You look at, people like Andy Kaufman. He was doing shit that was so zany that made people think about what they were actually laughing about. The whole situation on David Letterman, we got slapped by Lawler, right in the face. That was all an act. Yeah, but he played it out like, it was an attack and that he was going to sue him and this was a beat up of a lifetime. They both played into this and nothing was out of context. Everything they knew to happen was going to happen. And then you look at someone like George Carlin. If you don't know who George Carlin is as a person, comedian, or an actor,
They're probably not watching.
yeah, you should go to HBO Max and watch the 2-part documentary about George Carlin's American Dream. It's really good. And in his later years before he died, he talks about how he wants to watch the world burn because of people's mistakes, and they continually make the mistakes and nobody listens. Well, that goes into what he was doing as an Andy Kaufman-esque type thing, where he was saying one thing to trigger somebody else in a proper response to his jokes that he was portraying. He really didn't feel that way, although he did talk about it. And we say those type of jokes too, you and I, Jester. And we don't mean that we hate everybody, but we hate the situation that people are putting everybody in. And in the context of that, we really do want to see the world burn because they're making so many bad mistakes and people on Capitol Hill are listening and doing the same thing. And it's just ridiculous.
You said it, man. Like, it's just, it's gotten to the point where it's like it's started to like impact the art. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's gonna come to the point where like everybody has to get up and tell jokes that are so PC that it's what's the point?
Jokes.
Like, yeah, it's not. It's just like, I mean, I think maybe it could spawn like a whole another generation of like Mitch Hedbergs, which would be kind of cool because that guy was funny as fuck. But I mean,
but
at
you
the
can't
same
do
time,
that even
like,
because the jokes he talked about drugs and everything were off the deep end too, right?
yeah, I guess to some extent, like that, those would get flagged too. Like, and it's just it's getting to the point where it's just like, come on, man, like get fucking lighten up. Lighten up, Francis. That's really what the world needs to hear. Lighten up, Francis.
Yeah, exactly. Well, hey, let's lighten it up. Let's talk about all whole Liota love.
Oh yeah. Rest in peace. Poured a little out for the guy that made everybody want to be a gangster as far back as they could remember.
Oh gosh.
And
Ray Liota, man.
like walking through a field of dreams, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Ray Liota, the man. I tell you what, I did not hate an actor as much as I hated him, and not in the way that you think I hate people. He just portrayed it so well in the movies that he did, Goodfellas, Wild Hogs. You just wanted to hate him, but he was such a nice guy.
I think out of all everything that he was in that I saw him in, like my favorite is always gonna be Goodfellas.
Yeah, that laugh he did. It just, and you know what? When when he gets called out, what, you think I'm a fucking clown? Yeah, do I amuse you? Do I make you laugh? He's just looking all serious. All of a sudden, he goes, I gotcha, and he just dies laughing again. The best part of the movie,
right? I fucking love that one. That and like the intro sequence where he's like, as far back as I can remember, I wanted to be a gangster, and like,
yeah.
So, yeah, fucking big time loss. Like I said, poured a little out for him. Not too much. Beer's getting expensive like gas.
A little 40 for the shorty. Yeah, so I loved him growing up watching those movies. I really loved his voice and those characters that he did, and what really defined him to me playing video games, even though I loved, his movie credentials, was GTA Vice City. You know what I'm saying? Just the gangster voice in that. It was just beautiful, right?
Right. I think I may have sampled that some of those lines from there in like a couple like productions that I had done back in the day. Yeah, that was super. I was like, wait, is that fucking Ray Liota? And I'm like, I hear it again. I'm like, oh shit, yeah, it was.
And he did a lot of funny anecdotal characters. He was in Muppets Most Wanted as one of the prison guys in there, and that was funny as hell. I loved that. Every time I saw him, I just had a snicker.
The one that we talked about like just before we started was the SpongeBob.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I forgot to bring that up. Yeah, he was the lead bubble catcher in that one, and I do remember seeing that with my youngest daughter one time, and I didn't even catch a clue that was his voice.
That would be cool. I wonder if he ever made any appearances at the Mall of America, because they got that Nickelodeon theme park
Oh,
in
really?
like right in the middle. Yeah, it's a huge amusement park right in the middle of the mall. Like, this mall is massive. I've been there a bunch of times, and it took me like quite a while to see all of it. But the theme park, they have a section. It's like there's a SpongeBob roller coaster, right? And like, it looked little, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's a little kiddie ride. It was pretty good. I was like, oh, okay. And then, but I wonder if he ever like makes appearances. He just dresses up as the lead bubble catcher and just like fucking goes and stands there, does the voice.
Well, not anymore unless they put him on a post.
What we
You
did
know, and
back,
if he was there live, you know, the shit that would come out of his mouth to make all the kids cringe.
those would be interesting, like, like cast readings.
The fuck you looking at? Move along. I'm catching bubbles here. Yeah, that would be interesting to see. I'll tell you that right now.
So, well, so we know what the favorite video game of yours that he was in, but what about movie or TV
It would
show?
be Wild Hogs. It
Wild
would
Hogs?
definitely be Wild
Tim
Hogs, yeah,
Allen?
because he was the gang leader. You know, he was just that FUS type guy, you know, and his father, portrayed by Harry Fonda, was just telling him to calm down, Francis, near the end. It was really good.
At the end, it reminded me of Daddy, no.
Yeah. Daddy, no! It was such a great movie. Speaking of that, you know, hey, new movies coming out. What's new, man? What's new with
You gotta tell me, because like I haven't been keeping up with. I think now that I'm gonna start traveling for work, and I'm gonna end up places where I'm gonna have to just like chill and have nothing to do. It's like in the middle of nowhere. I think I am gonna start going to the movies. So what's out there, dude? Like, I haven't been keeping up. You gotta let me know what's the good shit.
So, you know, I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm a movie aficionado because, you know, most people that are critics and go to movies and watch them, they dissect and piece everything apart. I get embellished into it. It doesn't matter if it's a shit movie. It's a shit movie, you know, I'll just kind of go off in my own tangent. But for the most part, I watch the whole thing. And I've been watching a couple of them. And one of the movies that I did see was Doctor Strange, the Multiverse. And I was wowed by that one. I, you know, knew little going into it. I didn't know Wanda was going to be, you know, the main villain in the movie portrayal. I knew she was going to have a snarky role, but I didn't know how bad it was. But I'll tell you what, man, if you're into the Marvel Universe, Doctor Strange, I grew up watching comic books, reading the comic books, and I love that character, you know, one of my definitive characters, and seeing it on TV, and it was really good. It was really good. I tell you what, Sam Raimi was the director in that film. Anyone who knows Sam Raimi knows that he was the Evil Dead director, created the Evil Dead with Bruce Campbell back in the early 80s. And that was when he was in college, Sam Raimi. I believe he did it on a budget of $50,000 to $100,000. And that movie was an icon. And he followed up with the Evil Dead 2 and, of course, subsequently the Army of Darkness. Bruce Campbell and also Sam Raimi directing in the Doctor Strange movie. You can feel that direction. You can feel that Evil Dead-esque type direction as the movie started going. And, you know, touching into the multiverse, What If on Disney Plus, the anime portion of the universe, the Marvel comic universe, they had the zombie-esque type, you know, character in there, and they portrayed it well.
Nice.
All right. Definitely watch Doctor Strange.
Any like prerequisite movies that you have to see before watching that one, or anything
all
like
of them? But you know what? You don't have to really watch all of them to enjoy this movie.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good, because it's like, see, that was the thing about the Matrix one, the one that they did just came out, right? Where fucking NPH was in it, and most of the old cast was. Is that if I noticed sitting there with the fam, like they weren't super up on their like Matrix, like they had seen the movies like once, like a long time ago, but I had seen, like I like that franchise, so I had seen it a lot. And so like I remember the storylines, I remember the characters. And so watching the new one, like I wasn't lost cuz I knew exactly who those people were or were supposed to be.
Hmm.
And I knew and I caught the little references that they put in there, like the badge, the computer, the clothes, just like the little tiny shit that they put in. um and like I got it, but if you didn't watch those first three movies and like know them pretty well, like I could see how it was like, the fuck is this? Like
Right.
the story did kind of drag, but at the same time, like um I I didn't too much like that you had to have watched and like had knowledge of the previous three to be able to enjoy this one, because you could totally tell that like people that didn't like just did not like, even some people that didn't enjoy it, but like a lot of people that hadn't seen them like really were lost.
Yeah, so watching Doctor Strange, if you watch, What If series, if you watched Loki, if you watched the Spider-Man movies with Tom Holland, and the Doctor Strange, and of course the Avengers, you pretty much. Oh, I apologize, Wanda Vision as well. A lot of these portray into this movie. There's a lot of background to it. Hell, you even see a Hydra blimp in one of the multiverses that they crash through. A lot of this goes on and on and on, but if you don't have any of that knowledge, this movie is strong enough to carry you through as a good action flick. You won't know all the nuances, but you'll enjoy the movie. I mean, I watched the Loki, and Kang the Conqueror shows in that one. He is subsequently shown in the multiverse because, hey, guess what? He's one of the first Marvel characters to actually go through the multiverse, absorb himself, and become, superhuman, like a god, so to speak. So that's what's being portrayed in this movie, and it's going to be moved on subsequently into the new type of Avengers, the new series Avengers, and instead of Thanos, you're going to have Kane. So a lot of the stuff moves into this movie series. In that sense, Doctor Strange the Multiverse, I do highly suggest that you watch it, even if you're not into that. Moving on, though.
When
Go
you
ahead.
said WandaVision, I when I first saw the preview or like whatever it said, it just said WandaVision on
Yeah.
like whatever Prime or whatever the fuck. And I was like, oh, good. Wanda Sykes is still doing fucking stand up. That's awesome. And I was like, and I looked and I was like, oh, okay, no, that's not Wanda Sykes.
And it's not that funny. Moving on, though, another big flick that's finally come out. I still haven't seen it. I was supposed to see it this weekend, but, life gets in the way. Was Maverick, the follow-up for the Top Gun story. And I hear nothing but good things about reviews and people I know that have seen this movie. I still have to see it, but it looks strong in of itself. So the trailers get better and better. I've got to see it.
I absolutely love the meme that you put up with Goose, like fucking doing the finger. Goose does not approve of this movie poster.
You know what? He is dead, but Anthony Edwards probably does approve of it. Moving on, we got another movie that is near and dear to my heart. So at my age, I watched this.
Backdoor Slash 9.
No.
Oh, okay.
When I was a teenager, I watched this show quite a bit because we had the Disney Channel. It's Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers.
Oh yeah, it was on regular TV. Or we had it on. Yeah, we had it on TV, and we had the video game.
Right. So
Oh, it was the
this
shit
is
of
just
that game.
yeah, it was just a great show. And as a kid, you don't understand the nuances of it because, well, Chip is supposed to be like Indiana Jones, and Dale's supposed to be like Magnum PI, Tom Selleck character. When you start watching more and more of it, you understood that. Going into this movie that's escape of what they used to be into what they are now in Hollywood is more of a Roger Rabbit morph, but more tiered towards an adult persona that loved the series when they were younger. So I highly suggest watching this movie because there's a lot of funnies in there that adult humor will get. There's a lot of cuteness that the kids will love, and it'll just keep you going. And this is going to be, a little spoiler, but one of the things is on the bus bench as Dale's trying to get away is a sign that shows Butthead running for senator.
Damn it, Beavis.
Vote for me, Nimrods. So it's really good. It's really funny. You should definitely watch it. It kept me laughing through the whole damn thing.
How was the animation or like the CGI in this one?
CGI was off the shit, and guess who makes an appearance again? This is a spoiler. It is Slow Sonic. So when Sonic first came out, everybody saw the CGI of Sonic, and he looked too human. Teeth and eyes just wobbled left and right, and it was a big old stinking uproar, and everybody just threw a fit. Well, he's back in Chippendale's Rescue Rangers as Slow Sonic with teeth that move slow, and everybody's fixated on how he talks.
That's awesome. All right,
Yeah.
I think that'll be worth looking at because, like I said, I was a shit at that game.
So also, we're going to talk about some other stuff, not movies, but shows. Disney Plus just released Obi-Wan series. It's a two-parter, and it was fucking excellent. I watched it all.
Ooh, I'm gonna check it out then. I didn't know that it came out yet.
Well, you know what? I won't spoil you because you're part of the show, but everybody else, you know what? Nah, I won't do it. Anyway, there's a lot of references. This one, it's a good show. Don't get me wrong, and it stands on its own too. Just like I was saying about Doctor Strange. However, if you've watched all the Star Wars sagas, if you watched all the movies, if you've watched all the cartoons, and you know the game, there was a Star Wars game out there recently.
I kicked ass at the fucking Lego Star Wars. That was the shit.
I don't know if there's Legos in there references, but all the characters in the timeline collide in Obi-Wan's story here, and there is some talk about Black Coruscant that might make a debut in this one as well. If you know who Black Coruscant is, even if you don't, he's the Wookiee that was in the Book of Boba Fett, bounty hunter. So yeah, there's a lot of nuances that are coming to light from this that you will like. It's a really good watch.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely check that shit out.
We got two other ones. We got another show that's coming out that's very popular. You might have heard it. I'm not sure if you had. What was it? Stranger Things 4?
I have heard. I definitely do want to see that. I watched the first 3 seasons and I liked it. It was good. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna check that out. I think it's out already. Did they release the whole thing? Like,
I don't think that they've started it out yet, but Millie Bobby Brown makes her debut back as well as the other kids. And so if it's out there, watch it. I don't know off the top of my head. I got to go search it out myself.
I saw that I got the notification that they dropped a new season, but I don't know if it's like they just dropped like the first few episodes and then you have to wait, or if they just the whole thing all at once. But
yeah, let me do a quick search. Maybe I can get you an answer here. That's what I'm always looking off to the side, everybody.
So I'm kind of sad because I'm current now on Better Call Saul, and it's the last season, and I just hit that mid-season break, and I'm like, oh, come on. I'm like, don't leave it like that. I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, it's just like with this one, I get the sense, like the feeling of getting riled up, but then at the end, I'm like, well, no, because I know how it ends. Like he fucking Breaking Bad starts, so I'm wondering how they're gonna tie that shit in.
Yeah, so I haven't watched any of that, but I hear it's really good.
It is.
But to answer your other question, the first set release was May 27th. So yes, it has released on Netflix. There's a second release that's going to happen on July 1st of this year. So
they're breaking it up. Okay.
Yeah, so if you want to watch it, just understand that if you binge it, you're going to not get caught up for another 5 weeks afterwards. So you might want to wait around a little bit till you can get it all encompassed and get one storyline through. It's just up to you.
Yeah. What did I just caught up? Like, I'm caught up on like everything I was watching. Like the new season of Barry. That shit got kind of weird, but it's still funny. But it got kind of weird.
Yeah, I just started that.
I haven't seen the new Dexter season yet. I do want to see that one.
I'm feigned out of that one.
Was it? Okay. And then the Steve Carell one, Space Force.
Yeah, I got the first episodes of that, and I don't know. It didn't capture my, thought in that one. I just kind of, petered off on that.
and still waiting for the next season of Rick and Morty.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, that can never get old.
And Archer.
Definitely. Yeah. Well, Bob's Burgers is out in theaters too.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go check that out. Okay, so
Yeah,
that's definitely a roadie one. I'm definitely gonna check that one out when I'm on the road doing.
Yeah,
like,
that's one of those movies that you don't take your kids to, not necessarily unless they're teenagers. But I mean, seeing an adult in there by himself, you might yell at pedo. And the last movie we'll talk about, well, it's not really a movie. It's a new series that's going to be on Disney Plus. It hasn't hit the airways yet. Is She-Hulk. So that looks really good. And the first Inception that was given out on trailers for the CGI graphics for when she turns into She-Hulk, there was a backlash, kind of like what happened with Sonic. So they've since fixed that, and that will probably be coming out here soon.
Didn't Caitlyn Jenner already have his own show or her own show? They're giving it another one?
Wienerville?
Oh, so that's 3 then? Well, there was there was the reality show thing, and now She-Hulk.
Yeah, so they don't give a timeline on when it's supposed to come out, but it is supposed to be 2022. But in any case, yeah, I seen the trailer of it. It looks really good. I mean, I'm a nut for all that kind of crap anyway. So if it's not your cup of tea, I understand. But sometime this year, the new She-Hulk will be out. CGI has gotten better. So instead of so basically, it was just kind of like a smooth skin mask on the character when she transformed into the Hulkish type, with gamma radiation, whatever. They made it look more realistic, more like human-esque. She's all veiny.
That video that I saw on Pornhub, like that's totally not how she got turned into She-Hulk. But I mean, I guess if they're gonna do the parallel universe thing, that's cool too.
Maybe. I mean, he's inserting gamma radiation.
Yeah, he did that, but like they totally went a different direction for the movie. I guess they had to clean it up.
Well, I mean, you can't have babies in the butthole. That's what I've been told.
I don't know.
In prison.
I mean, I don't know. Some of the people I've met, like in the world, kind of. I wonder sometimes. Can you?
Yeah, it makes you go, oh my God, Britnaaay.
Yeah, like somebody that's just a total piece of shit.
Oh my God, Britney is just looking like a horror.
She's looking all right these days.
Yeah, Jamie Spears is back in the news line. He's trying to get back in there and, go through with some lawsuits to get some of that money back, which really technically wasn't his in the first place.
It's like, what the fuck did he do to, like, for that money other than fucking knock up Britney Spears' mom?
Nothing really. He's acting more like a pimp than a daddy. He's not even a pimp daddy.
And you know what? Everybody's like, oh, it's so shocking that this happened, blah, blah, blah. No, it's not. They're fucking trailer trash. This was going to happen one way or the other. The only reason that you're hearing about it is because it's millions of dollars. If it wasn't, it'd be fucking food stamps. She'd be
Where would she be living?
She'd be downgraded to that single wide from the double wide. You know what I mean? Like, one way or another, this was going to happen. Like,
he'd be like, hit me, baby, one more time, right?
Yeah, like Ike and Tina all over again, except that now it's like the fucking Brady Bunch version.
What kind of tacos we should be getting? Taco Bell, baby. Couldn't afford anything else. It's crazy, man. I mean, when's this going to end? And we talked about this off the air. The reason for all this is because of him. He taught her to be not self-sufficient. She cannot hold her own in the world because of him. He was the one that was, taking all the money, the conservatorship, and made sure that she didn't handle any of the finances, made sure she didn't understand where the money was supposed to be going, made sure that she didn't understand how to bank properly, how to save properly, what interest was, and, he's the one who fucked up her life, and now he's trying to fuck it up even more.
Because that's what he was fucking living off of. Like,
Exactly.
That's what made him rich. Like, is control of all that money. So, like, she's... It looks like if she bails all that cash, he's out on the street.
Actually, no. He's made so much money. He's put so much away. He's never going to be poor, ever. He knows how to finance. He knows, he may spend a lot, but he knows how to put some of that. He's tucked millions of dollars of cash. He has to have, because you know what? If he didn't, well, he is basically a piece of shit. But he's at least got enough to buy one taco from Taco Bell.
I I guarantee that like that money will run out quick.
Probably.
He got used to living a certain kind of lifestyle, and that shit don't go away quick. And it's not something like, especially with, like living in a mansion and driving like again, reference the statement from the line from The Replacements. You know what the insurance on a Ferrari costs, motherfucker? It, like one of those situations, like it's not super fucking thrilling to give that shit up. So
Right.
I don't know, that money, like with like people that win the lotto, but they don't win like enough to really let them spend like reckless assholes for the rest of their lives, and they just win like a so-so jackpot thinking they could do that, and then all of a sudden that money's gone. Yeah, it's gonna be like that. Like I guarantee you didn't put that much away.
So you got someone like Jamie Spears, and you see that type of parenting, and you see someone on the opposite end. I'm not the perfect person to be a parent, but I make better decisions than that. Every single one of my children, I've told them, they've delusions of grandeur as kids do. Oh, when I get rich, I'm going to take care of you, Dad. And I keep looking them straight in the face. I'm like, no, take care of yourself. Enjoy your life. That's what this is about. You live your life. And if you got any extra money that you want to send my way because you want to help, hey, I'm not going to say no, but I'm not asking for your money. I want you to live your life and be happy and use your money to be happy. I can get by on my own. I've done it for this many years, and I've done it, feeding your mouth, so I can continue doing it. What's wrong with being a father or a person like that? A mother even, I don't want to make it only seem like a father would do that. But, why do you want to take that money? You didn't even earn it.
I mean, my stance when that kind of thing came up with the kids was, oh, you're famous and you're living outside the house. Fuck you, pay me. You just got this huge fucking bonus. I supported you for a long time. Fuck you, pay me.
Well, see, in my viewpoint, in being nice about it, they want to pay you. They want to give you the money. It's reverse psychology. But you made me say it now, and my son's probably going to hear this and probably not going to want to help me out anymore. Don't listen to me. I'm an idiot. But, take it on the high side.
My kid's going to be like, fuck, he still remembers.
What happened to just, moral compass anymore? What happened to, teaching kids on how to shoot a rifle at school, back in the 20s, 30s, 40s.
It doesn't seem like that stopped.
Well, it's happened on a different end, and whatever happened to telling the full story? I mean, the person that actually went in and stopped this child from killing any more children and more parents and more teachers, went in and stopped them dead in the cold when the cops didn't go in. I mean, come on. I mean, really? We really need truths out there, and we need people to understand what's actually going on instead of just, waning away with the news reports and, projecting what we think they want them to hear. They don't own the news presses. They should just tell the whole story.
True.
What the heck? I mean, eventually we're going to have a point in our lives where we're going to have to understand where, everybody should carry a gun or nobody should carry them at all. But then again, if you don't carry them at all, they could still get them on the black market. And if they could still get them on the black market or, from somebody else, from Joe Schmo down the way, people are still going to die. So what does it actually fix?
Nothing.
So if everyone had a gun and somebody pulled out a gun on somebody else, do you think 50 people pulling a gun out on that person would help? Just a thought.
So I think that going back to the Britney thing, he missed a lesson growing up, and it's when to fucking cut your losses and run. Like if he stopped with all this bullshit, he still leaves with whatever fucking millions that he has, and then he can figure out a way to like make that shit last or make it keep making more money for him, right?
Yeah.
So I think that on top of fucking like dragging some shit out that really didn't need to be dragged out in the first place. Like he could have just saved himself a whole lot of fucking trouble. Took the money that he has and then just shut the fuck up and leave before she gets pissed and turns around and fucking with all her more money than he has and can hire like a fucking Johnny Cochran-esque attorney. Like that's just like it's like fucking poking the bear, you know what I mean? Like it's just why fucking do it? Like you have enough money, make that shit last, motherfucker. The rest of us do.
Yeah, you know what? Because ain't no more coming in. Keep on poking that bear, and pretty soon you're gonna find out if shit sticks to your fur.
There's nothing wrong with shopping at Whole Foods. Just saying.
That's true. It may not be the Amazon grocery store, but hey, it is food.
Right, I understand it's not Trader Joe's, but
I mean, if you're in the back of the Mexicali market, and getting some old rotten tomatoes, at least it's tomatoes.
Right, get a Costco membership. The rest of us do.
Get some food stamps.
Go to Sam's Club. That's what normal people do.
Yeah, I don't know. People are just fucking crazy. Hollywood people are fucking crazy. Everybody's fucking crazy. Everybody's just going off on tangents. This world's going under. And just like George Carlin said, I want to watch the world burn. Keep it up. You're doing a great job. I'll be in the background eating some jerky, eating some popcorn, just slow clapping.
Exactly. That's where you'll find Rice and Beans, ladies and gentlemen. And on that note, we are going to get up on out of here for this week. Hope you enjoyed another episode, and we are going to be back with a lot more of season 6, and we are going to start the planning for season 7. So got some big things coming up, and keep tuning in. Glad to have you. Until next week, take a toke and watch all your worries go up in smoke. Peace.